This is an atlas. This is the atlas, also known as C1 vertebrae. Now this is an atlas. And what an atlas. I mean, just look at it. Introduced by the Atlas Press Company in 1941, these little mills are much adored by many hobbyists and much loathed by the people over a pretentious machinist. Sharing a number of parts with the Atlas 10-inch lathe, they were a logical step for Atlas. They have a number 2 Morse taper spindle and 8 speeds, although the earlier models had 16. I don't know why they did that. I know these machines are small enough to fit in your back pocket, and about as rigid as a wet blanket, but do they really deserve the bad rap that they have? Let's see what we can mill with this machine. First up, we got some cellulose foam from Northern Ontario in a 4x2 format, 1/4 inch depth of cut at 870 RPM. Feed rate is 21 3/4 inch per minute. The cutter is a 3-inch by 1/2 inch high-speed steel Polish-made cutter, brand new in '82. Like butter. And surface finish isn't half bad. Not bad for softwood lumber anyways. Next up, some aluminium, 6061 T6 to be engineeredy. Depth of cut is still 1/4 inch, spindle speed has been dropped to 450 RPM. Feed rate started at 5 3/8 inch per minute, but I found it just terrible. So I dropped it down to 2.7 inch per minute, and it seemed to work a lot better. Surface finish on this is actually quite good, but I should note that my arbor has a slight wow to it, about a thou, so it does mess things up a little bit. Now it's time to drop it in back gear and get ready for the real test. Some plain Jane mild steel. Spindle speed is 130 RPM and the feed initially was 3/4 inch per minute, which was a whole lot of not great. Too much noise and wow, such slow. So 400 thousandths per minute ended up being what I had to use. I found that spindle speed still was way too high. So I ended up dropping it down to its slowest speed at 62 RPM. Now this had an effect on everything. Smoothed the cutout, made the machine louder somehow, and turned my table feed down to 186 thou per minute. I think the pyramids were built faster than that. Okay, I think we've all had enough of that. Okay. Surface finish turned out to be not too bad. Still, again, I got some bumps in there from that bent arbor, but it was okay. Machining mild steel is not pretty, it is gummy. Now for the real test. Some 01 tool steel. 62 RPM, and the very slowest feed rate of 186 thou per minute. The surface finish turned out not bad, considering that while it was cutting, it was also increasing in depth of cut. Apparently bandsaws don't cut straight. Who knew? Now for the final test. My sandwich. I've got the spindle speed up to 870 RPM, and I'm hand feeding this one. Our depth of cut is a little over a quarter inch, but it was hard to measure off bread. As you can see, it's making one hell of a mess, and because I'm hand feeding and my stand sucks, the machine's rocking and rolling all over the place. That's going to be one of the first things on my to-do list. But that's for the sandwich. Not sure what the surface finish is supposed to look like, but seemed to mill the lettuce pretty well. Capicola looks pretty decent too. So, it's not the most rigid machine in the world, but you can do work with it. You can cut steel, you can cut tool steel, you just gotta go slow. Not great for sandwiches. No. Definitely not.